Hello and welcome to Enterprise Friday on Enterprise Television. I am Kendi Baduri.
And I am Henry Igwibiki.
Thank you so much for joining us as we bring you key stories shaping Nigeria today. We will begin with a brief review of the newspaper headlines and then move into our main conversation of the day. You can join the conversation by liking, following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. You can as well share. Thank you so much. So joining us today, we have Emeka Madmagu, and he's a journalist and also a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much, Emeka.
Thank you so very much, Emeka, for being here. I truly do appreciate your time.
Yeah. So we are going to kickstart with the newspaper.
Yeah, I'm with you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so very much. But just before we get to the newspapers, it's important that honor should be given. Today coincidentally happens to be a special day in the life of my co-presenter, Kende, as she turns and she adds one today.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
It feels nice, isn't it?
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. It's more of like
keep looking like this, or keep looking young. Even when you get to 100.
Yes,
yeah,
despite the economy, keep looking like this.
Aging gracefully.
Yes, gracefully.
Thank you so much.
All right, beautiful. So let's kickstart today with the newspapers. So what do we have?
Okay, we have, as usual, we have Vanguard newspaper, we have the Guardian newspaper, Punch, and Daily Trust. So we're going to be starting with the Vanguard newspaper, and on the top there we have Senate tackles economic team over poor implementation of budgets.
Okay, so that's from the
Vanguard newspaper. Yes.
Right. And we equally have the big story. Do raises alarm over rising debt service burden.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
How we tracked arrested our church attackers, DSS witness tells court.
And a very sad one for Nigerians, despite the fact that this is Ramadan, a very pious time that all should be gathering to pray for the country, but that is not the case for some set of people. We have it very sadly that terrorists killed 34 fasting Muslims in the latest KB attack.
Wow.
Very so bad. So the question is, the terrorists now, are they not equally fasting?
Right.
They are not fasting, isn't it? Because if they are fasting, why should they be killing?
And some of them are even Muslims.
They are Muslims.
Most of them are Muslims.
100% of them are Muslims.
What do they want?
That is the big question.
They're also killing Muslims.
That are fasting.
And not even in this holy season.
Holy season.
Yeah.
Emeka, let's start from there. I think it's very important that we talk about this. And just like Kenny has asked, what do these people want? 100%. They are Muslims. They practice the faith. They believe in all the things that the faith would say. But why would they still kill a brother that is equally doing the same thing like them?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Most of these people are not. They are not Muslims. In the real sense of it, they hide behind Islamism. Islamist insurgency. They just hide behind insurgency. Because they have their objectives. Which is to cause terror, which is to collect ransoms, which is to kidnap. Because they know. Government officials will always come after them to beg and negotiate ransoms, and because of the corruption involved in it. So Nigerian politicians, will continue to hope that this terror lasts, because it's a lucrative venture for crooked people in the system. They don't care whether lives have been lost, and so that's why you see that, it doesn't matter. For them, it's neither black nor white. It's just gray in between. So they don't care. These people don't care. So they come from different places. They come from different places. They go through Lake Kainji. They go through Lake Kainji National Park, hibernate there, and then share themselves because Sambisa has become too hot for them now. So they now, go the other way. And it's because they know that the Nigerian government is too weak. It's too weak to take a decisive action to rout insurgency. because they are banking on the United States to do that. But they forget one thing: if the United States helps you to end insurgency, you're going to pay a heavy price for that. Go and write it down. Thank you.
Oh, I think you should even deliberate, expatiate more on that, like the last statement you made, so that at least we'll have like an overview of what we should be expecting.
Exactly.
Right?
So what are those things the United States might demand of us, hoping to end terrorism in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Of course, look at Syria now. The United States says they are moving out their troops from Syria, but they are still going to be in charge. They're still going to dictate a lot of things. Donald Trump is, has set up a board of peace, and of course they want it as an alternative to the United Nations to dictate, terms of peace and all that around the world. So each country where they go to do all these things, we have to pay for it. One way or the other, you pay for it. One way or the other, you are going to see, for those who have been shouting about sovereignty in the north, I pity them. Because when the chiefs are down, honestly, they will not even, many of them will flee. So, one other problem is extremism. That is one major problem we have. Apart from these terrorists, we also have extremists, extremists who want to hide behind the cover of religion to keep, to keep the country on the tenterhooks. And the overriding objective, is to pretend that there is a religious agenda, whereas there is nothing religious about killing people, about burning villages, even killing people who are fasting, observing, the holy, the holy month of Ramadan. So what is there in the religion? So what it needs is this. Look, the Nigerian government has clearly shown it is all talk, no substance. President Bola Tinubu is more interested in getting a second term. He's not interested in any insurgency. So all that is needed now is just for the United States to take over. And by the time they can get a grip on what is going on, you will be surprised. They'll relegate our military and, wipe out these fellows. Then after wiping out these fellows, you can imagine the terms they'll dictate to our government. That's something going on. Israel has said it will provide intelligence, to the Nigerian government. Already Germany, United Kingdom, they've also talked about getting involved in all of these things. So we'll wait and see what the Board of Peace will decide. The terms that the Board of Peace, spearheaded by...
Definitely, we'll need to...
Are you there, Emeka? Oh, I think we lost Emeka there. Of course, he was speaking to the
U.S.
issue.
President Donald Trump. What they will decide, then we will know how things will go. But it is, for me, it's just a matter of time before these terrorists, honestly, will be wiped out very, very seriously. Thank you.
Yes, we sincerely hope that, because it is not speaking well for Nigeria as a country and for the people living within Nigeria. But let's take a look at Daily Trust newspaper for a bit here.
Okay, on the big story there, we have CSOs opposition rise against Electoral Act.
Yes, and about what we had talked about before, it still made the headlines on the Daily Trust. Gunmen attack KB, communities kill 35.
Okay, we also have ICPC raids Air Rufai's Abuja residents.
And also FCT councils polls, how PDP candidates withdrew from race. That yes, and Wike is really struggling to ensure that APC actually takes over everything within the ranks and files of the FCT. But let's look at it, Emeka. Yes.
Sorry, before then, there's a story here I would like us to. Military launches new operations against terrorists in Kwara, Niger. Yeah. Right. So I would. Okay, should we take this?
Yes, you can take that.
Okay. So Emeka, I want us to look at this story because in a way it sounds more of like should I use the word good news, because it's talking about our own like military.
Yeah.
They've launched. So are you still there?
Yeah, even though the audio is faint. I'm here, but the audio is faint.
Okay, but did you get what I said? Did you get the question? Sorry, were you listening to what I was saying?
Just go ahead.
All right, okay. So the question is, I want you to we would like to have your
I didn't
take
get the
on-
question. Sorry,
Okay,
repeat
no,
it, please.
Okay, we would like to have your take on the military launching new operations against terrorists in Kwara, Niger.
Yeah, did you get the question,
Yeah,
Emeka? So
the
do you
military,
think
they
the
keep
military-
launching new operations and all that. Just
Yes.
yesterday,
Okay.
Yes, continue on your thoughts, please.
yeah. So the military, they keep launching the operation. But just yesterday, a group of terrorists threatened a town in Sokoto that they are going to devastate a town in Sokoto. And the people have come out to tell the whole world. Now, I hope the military won't be waiting for these people to carry out their threat, and then they will come around and tell us that they're launching the operation. Look, Nigerians are not interested in whether they are launching new, old, or second-hand or used operations. What that the task is too much for them. What did Jonathan do? Jonathan used the mercenaries from South Africa, and within 6 weeks they were able to clear territories in Borno State, in Borno Yobe State. So you can add mercenaries to it. You can also recall retired soldiers, retired officers to help you in this battle. But to just be talking about renewed this, that, and the other, no. that won't go anywhere. We must realize that these people, these terrorists now, they have been making use of the River Niger. Like I said some days ago, they've been making use of the River Niger. So you have to block that route. The Nigerian Navy must get down to work on the River Niger. Look at River Niger, look at the bank of River Niger, look at the rivulet. Look at those, what do we call them in geography? Look at the tributaries of the River Niger. They can use drones to, score those areas, get the locals to give them information about where these people are hiding. That's it. It should not just be a land-based matter. They should cut off the supply route, which is mainly the River Niger. I've said this and I'll say it again. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Emeka. But let's go to the south region of Nigeria, especially Rivers State, where we have it that the Rivers State House of Assembly suspends impeachment plot against Fubara and a deputy. Emeka, at this point, are you tired of the rift going on in Rivers? Because every single time it comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. When as media people will report it, we think we would make sense out of it. Just before we know, either Fubara chickens out or the National Assembly, the State Assembly chickens out, or Wike himself. What's happening here? Should we stop talking about Rivers State at this point and just allow them be for a bit?
You see, it is just a farcical comedy. They had no ground, with which no justifiable grounds to impeach Fubara and his deputy. The main thing was that during the emergency, the administrator Ibas, signed the 600 billion naira budget, which was passed by the House of Representatives, and so out of it, the lawmakers had 1 billion naira constituency votes each. So out of it, Ibas paid them 350 million naira each, as confirmed by some of them. Paid, 350 million naira each. And then it was remaining a balance of 650 million naira, which, they told Fubara to pay them. Well, I was saying that I will explain that. People who are on suspension from legislative duty earn money. As if they were still sitting. So that was even the major thing they brought up, As for the rest, of course, there are allegations that there was pressure on Fubara that whatever was remaining of that budget should be set aside for the 2027 elections, and that he should forward a supplementary budget to the House of Assembly. So now that he has appointed Wike's loyalist of FCT Minister Wike. He has nominated them as commissioners. Let's see how they will function. You understand? It is one thing to steal the village drum. It's another matter where will you play it. You know, of course, they may be jubilating that yes, they have gone into the cabinet, that they are going to strangulate Fubara. But they forget one thing, that you see, the man is also a survivalist. He will survive them. You know, just just a matter of months, party primaries will get underway. You can see what's happening in Ondo State. They have already started killing themselves in APC. You know, just party congresses. So we have not started talking about party primaries. They are already shooting themselves and killing themselves. So that should tell you that as you know things hot up, you are going to see how they themselves will fall out. There will be disagreements, there will be realignments before the 2027 elections. So those who are already saying, "Oh, Tinubu master strategies," I say, well done. But if it is the Nigerian history, I know. You know, the more things change, the more they remain the same. They will be shocked. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Emeka. We can't overstate, some of these things, and it's often said, too many cooks spoil the broth. And at this point, when everyone is joining the ruling party, giving no chance for the opposition, what that means is we would have a collection of too many chefs. Imagine too many chefs cooking jollof rice.
At the point
no one can eat it, because this one will be saying, no, I prefer cooking it this way, and I have to boil the rice before. They will say, no, we have to just wash it and put in, and that's what's happening within the APC right now. We just learned that a traditional ruler in Ondo State was killed. Gunmen invade palace, kill traditional ruler in Ondo State. So, and that is from what Emeka had just stated here. Already infighting is within them, and that is what you get when you force everyone to be part of
that was said to have been done by a bandit. I'm talking about the APC meetings from days ago, where two people were believed to have been shot dead. Yes.
Okay, so let's just hope there are bandits actually that are doing this in Ondo State, and not party politics, and which could be masqueraded as bandits at this point. But I would love to leave that to the police force and other security agencies to do their investigation to really find out if these people who killed the traditional ruler were actually bandits or it was party politics of interest. But just to let us know that Emeka will still be here to take us on our main conversation when we return. Reps defend the controversial amendment as opposition. CSOs warn of 2027 poll crisis. In the Beat Enterprise Friday, it is. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
It's nice to have you join us yet again. This is Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. To our conversation for today, the House of Representatives has defended the newly signed Electoral Act of 2026, describing it as imperfect but constitutionally enacted and reflective of the National Assembly's collective will. Lawmakers insisted the amendment followed due parliamentary processes, including the work of a conference committee set up to harmonize differences between the House and Senate version of the bill. However, the law has drawn widespread criticism.
Very true. Now, the African Democratic Congress accused President Bola Tinubu of undermining democratic credibility by signing the amended act and vowed to mobilize Nigerians to safeguard future elections. Civil society organizations also warned that unresolved loopholes in the law could threaten the credibility of the 2027 general elections, criticizing what they call the president's hasty assent. The Middle Belt Forum argued that the amendment has set Nigeria's electoral process back significantly.
All right, so let's get talking. Emeka Madnago is still here. Thank you so very much, Emeka. I know we will keep talking about this Electoral Amendment Act for a very long time as we draw closer to 2027 general elections. Emeka, you have a very strong history of Nigeria, and this is not new. We've seen issues like this. I would love to believe possibly in the First Republic, Second Republic, and now we have issues like this. Emeka, can you take us memory lane for a bit and maybe give us an inside scoop if we have seen issues like this and how it was resolved at the end in the history of Nigeria?
Okay, thank you very much. Well, in the past, we didn't really have electronic transmission. If you remember that GSM only came to Nigeria in 2001, which is just about 25 years or so. Although before that, as of 1998, then General Sani, head of state General Sani Abacha wanted to license a GSM operator, but his sudden death on June 8, 1998, put paid to that. So, but before that, you had these Turaya communications and all of that. So the issue of electronic transmission was not really an issue at that time. But of course, as time went on, in the last few years, last few elections, the issue of electronic transmission has become very, very important because, there are strong feelings, justifiably that the election results are usually changed, when they go through the process of collation. That process of collation, for polling unit to ward, to local government, to state, that it causes a lot of delay in the announcement of results, and that as a result, you don't really get the real results. For instance, look at the result of Rivers State, presidential election, Rivers State, for 2023. It shows clearly that the Labour Party won the election in Rivers State. But at the end of the collation, we saw result sheets, that were badly mutilated. But these things were not posted on the IREF. What was posted on the IREF was different from what was, presented manually after all the rigmarole of collation. That's why, there has been the argument that, look, saying that, the manual collation should stand side by side with electronic transmission, it doesn't hold water at all, because telecommunications companies, as of 2018, had actually said that yes, that there are 2G coverage. There was 2G coverage across 98% of the country, so that it's easy to reach across the country, even when some lawmakers lied openly that their areas were not covered. Telcos came out to tell them that they were lying. I gave a breakdown of the places covered by 5G, 4G, 3G, and 2G. And so that they had achieved maximum coverage. So that tells you that, of course, the argument that, where there is no network, then you can have a manual transmission. It doesn't hold water. For a country seeking to advance into the, into the second quarter of the 21st century, you must embrace technology. You must embrace scientification. You must embrace those things that that will make your country stand shoulder to shoulder with the leading giants, with the leading nations of the world. So you cannot, because of elections, now begin to go back to manual collation. Otherwise, okay, why are we now talking about NIN, National Identification Number? Why are we talking about BVN, Bank Verification Number? There are many countries of the world that don't have these things. A country like the United States has a social security number. But of course, you've seen that, it was said that many dead people, where, names of dead people have been seen, in arrangements for payment of certain benefits, So that tells you that the social security numbers are also not foolproof. But at least Nigeria, with the NIN has significantly breached the gap. NIN has significantly helped, in terms of information management. The same thing with the BVN. So why is it so difficult to say, for us to insist on total electronic transmission? Why is it so difficult? President Bola Tinubu was saying that results are collated manually. You see, he was just trying to beg the question. And what is the question? What is the best way for us to transmit results? It is electronically. There is no way, because all the money we spend on manual collation only delays the announcement of results. What we are talking about, what many people are talking about, CSOs, opposition parties say, right from the polling units, the results should be tendered. But what do you have? Like what you had in Edo, there was one result electronically transmitted to the IRF, and there was another result manually, prepared, which gave a different idea. The whole thing has to do with sincerity and maturity. We still have a delinquent political class that just after looting the treasury, that's all. The day becomes nigh difficult for the political class to loot the treasury. Let me tell you, see, all of these things will fall in place. And I hope that very soon we'll achieve that. Because for me, I won't believe in e-voting, not just e-transmission, e-voting, that we should use electronic devices for people to cast their votes. So once you place your thumb, it's automatically registered at the back end somewhere. But anyway, I believe we've made some progress, in terms of acknowledging that yes, electronic transmission should be in the Electoral Act, and that also expecting that it will also be placed in the Constitution, because the fight had actually been that it was not constitutional. That's what the Supreme Court relied on in looking at the petitions, against the declaration of Bola Tinubu as the winner of the 2023 presidential elections. They said that electronic transmission was not in the Constitution, it was not in the Electoral Act. Now it's in the Electoral Act. It's for Nigerians, desirous of, a genuine polls, to continue to push till we remove that manual transmission. Because I hope sometime last year, some people were actually pushing the idea that PVCs, permanent voter cards, should be discarded. Yeah. That we should go back to manual voting, to manual, manual collation of voters. So that tells you that some people are just, they look at this country as just a pool where they can draw water from anyhow, where they can steal from. They don't care about the country. And you just see, why are people afraid of electronic transmission? Why are they afraid? Thank you.
Wow, that was a long. We needed an explanation, really, so we can, understand how it works. So, Emeka, there's this question. Okay, yeah. So the thing is, there is this. Oh, okay. Does this amendment strengthen or weaken public trust ahead of 2027 elections?
Well, the opposition parties have already raised the alarm that it will weaken confidence in the electoral process, because what it means is that it places the burden of proof on the parties. I mean, if I say, okay, an election was rigged, how do you prove that? Which one takes precedence? Which one takes precedence between electronic and manual? Which one takes precedence? Which one takes precedence? Because the way it is couched, that's section 60. I think it's couched in such a way as if, either or, not this. Not saying that electronic transmission must be the number one means of collecting votes, but just saying either electronic transmission or manual transmission. So it still leaves a lacuna. It still leaves loopholes in the believability of election results, and that's a major problem. That's why you see, for instance, in Edo, there was an INEC official, as if Felicia Bozua, who was caught actually, having allegedly, tampered with the result in her area. But what was done? Nothing was done. And the second thing is that we've still not made a definite decision on the prosecution of electoral offenders. So when you see a situation like that where there are mutilated results, what happens? Why have we not seen electoral officers, being prosecuted and jailed? Why have we not seen that? Yes, we saw a situation in Akwa Ibom State where a professor was jailed, but jailed for how many years? Just 2 years. Before he knew what was happening, he was out. So we must realize that, look, no party, no empire lasts forever. PDP was in power. It was treating power as if it was a toy, and it lost out. Now the same people in PDP who were toying with the electoral process are in APC. They are still going to derail APC. Who knows where they are going to move to? But the point is this: where is the interest of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria in all of this? Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Emeka. And this raises, the observation. We've had lawyers here. At least I've had the opportunity of attending NBA, Nigerian Bar Association campaigns and all. And usually when they finish their campaigns and they start elections, it's usually done on a portal. So every registered lawyer in Nigeria, wherever you are, you have a number like your NIN. So you don't need to go queue up on anyone or something. No, just open your app or whatever portal it is on your phone. And once you vote, right, it will tick that you have voted, and your vote will immediately count. Everyone is seeing it. So you don't even have the opportunity of voting twice because it has cancelled that, okay, you have voted, and it has been there. And just before, even the end of the elections within the ranks of NBA, already we all know the winner. The winner knows that they have won. The losers equally know, and they know that they've lost well, and they would have reason to congratulate the winner. Right? So if that could happen in little organizations like the NBA, why can't we have it in Nigeria? This technology has been tested, is trusted. Why can't we have it in Nigeria? But you know why we would not have it in Nigeria? Why? Because there is the intention of those in power who have not governed well to keep being in power against the will of the people. So they use everything possible to go against the people. Yes, because yes, very true.
If only we can have this, it's going to be seamless. No complaint, everything's going to go smooth, and I think it's going to even count. Our vote is going to count, and we will know we will know why and what we have voted for. You understand? So I just hope the government just try to look into this easy part of voting for our leaders.
Well, obviously not this government, because this government they are more interested in winning 2027 than governing well and ensuring that people really love them for who they are, not forcing them to love them. Well, that's our time for today. Thank you so very much, Emeka, for your detailed explanation. And
thank you very much. Thank you.
We truly do appreciate you enough. And people, that's just about the time we have, and we have to call it a wrap for today, just before we join Kenny for an after party today. It will be hot, isn't it?
You're the one that will sponsor me. I don't have a sponsor. You that will sponsor me.
You are the one. You are the one celebrating, so you should be the one sponsoring us.
So what do you want?
Well, no matter what it is, though, it will be a wonderful time. It will be an exciting moment. And if you are close to us, maybe you might join the party. Yes, come, let's celebrate Kenya today as she acts one. And that's our time. Please do well to follow us. You can find us at enterprise.tvnews.com. You may equally download what we have just talked about when you visit us at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Kehinde Bodiri.
Have yourself a splendid day, and introducing you to the weekend, isn't it?
Yes, thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. And thank God it's our birthday.
Thank you so much. Yeah, yes. God bless Nigeria. God bless you.
Bye-bye.